Wow, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of our Tech Queen Elite Training Institute 2020 Summer Coding Camp. Welcome. We're so glad that you could join us this morning, and we're going to be starting. Give people a moment to jump on here and connect, and we're excited because we are going to have an exciting journey today. We have Amani back with us again. He'll be starting within the next, I'd say, 30, 40 minutes or so after we do our power hour with our youth here in our computer coding tech camp. We got some exciting lessons planned for today. We're going to be diving into a little bit of cybersecurity for youth, for your age group. Got a cybersecurity game plan for you, got some educational videos, and so we're going to have some fun today. How about that? We're going to have some fun. So I want to say welcome to everyone that is online right now. I'm going to just give a little welcome and hi, shout out to Amani. Hey, Amani. Woo! Uh-oh. We're going to come back and hear you. I hear that whistle again. So we're going to come back and hear you in just a little bit. And so as we give the opportunity for everyone to come on, we're going to, let's see here, transition in just a moment. All righty, stand by, everyone. I see those that are logging on here, and we're going to give everyone a moment to jump on. I know there's almost 400 students registered. What? Almost 400 students registered. I can't believe it. That's just a lot of people. A lot of people. So stand by for a moment because we're going to be right back as we give you a moment to log on to Facebook and YouTube and connect with our cybersecurity today. I said I'm not going to give you coding this morning because we have Amani that's going to do game development. So we're going to get into some fun cybersecurity learning. And then we, of course, will have our brain break. We got 3 hours with you guys today. You know I love it. I have so much fun with you all. We have 3 hours with you today. That's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So pull up your computer. Don't worry, parents. We're going to have brain breaks for your students. We're not going to wear out their brains, but it gives our parents a chance to take a break because your students are going to be engaged. Let me see some of the comments here. You know, we do our roll call here. Let's see. We have what is going on here. Let's see our locations, roll call. Oh, I see DC in the house, Maryland in the house. I see Shanta. Thank you, Shanta. Yeah, you were right. Had to prepare stuff, folks, trying to get on at the last minute. Shanta Myers, thank you for your comment.
Yeah, you were right.
All right. Kamani, John Baptiste, I see our Barbados family on the line. Yay, good morning, Kamani. I see you back. Hey, Deborah, my goddaughter, sending some love from Las Vegas. I see where you say your note, Jay is going to log on. Oh, Anna say, yay, cybersecurity. That's right, Anna. I know we haven't done that with our other groups, so hopefully our London, England family is on and our Africa family is on. Jamaica, Maryland's in the house. Go ahead and shout out your city and your location. I see YouTube, Facebook. I think a lot of our students are too young for Facebook, so I see why a lot of people are logging on through YouTube, and that's fine. It's all good. We'll let them log on and do their thing. But yeah, today's going to be a cybersecurity day. That's right. I'm so excited. And then the second part of our day will be with game development with Amani. Go ahead in the comments and shout out your location. Don't be scared. Don't be shamed. Don't be afraid to say where you are from. Vegas in the house, Maryland in the house. I see where you guys are from. All right, so let's get right to it. All right, St. Lucia's in the house. Stand by one moment. I am going to share my screen. And we are going to get ready. And you know what? While I get ready to transition, let's check in with Amani again because he's in the house. Those that were here yesterday, I hope you're ready to catch up and get going. Amani, give me about 30 seconds. Let me check your sound here. There we go. Sound is great. Give me a little sneak preview of what's to come today while I get ready to pull up this other screen here. Give us a sneak preview of what's to come today.
So today we'll be learning about Blender, which is the main 3D I guess you could say 3D creation. I forgot the correct word for it, but it's what we use to make all of our 3D assets, and we'll be learning essentially basics on Blender. Um, for today, that's really about it, so that tomorrow we can start creating assets for our game. Today we'll learn the basics, and then tomorrow we'll start getting into creating all the assets.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, so I am going to pull up our first video here. I saw where somebody said, yay, cybersecurity. I'm not going to take it for granted that you all know cybersecurity. I'm not going to take it for granted. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start with Cybersecurity 101. For any age group can do this. It's through our PBS. Any age group can actually do the cybersecurity. So we're going to start with warm-up. Because I tell you, when Amani comes with that game development and your coding and your brain, it's going to be a lot. Yesterday, I started with coding, and then we went right into more coding. So I said, you know, I'm not going to do this to the students today. We're going to have a little brain break, get some cybersecurity in, and go from there. So are you guys ready for Cybersecurity 101? All right, and then I have this wonderful video. It's a couple of videos that you guys are going to learn. So stand by one moment here because we are going to do Cybersecurity 101, one of my favorites. So stand by here as I pull up the video because you guys are going to be in for a treat. And while I'm doing that, I need to have my glasses on. That's what I really need to have. 5Z86. There we go. All right, let's see if this pulls it up. Oh, wait, I got a typo. Hold on. My glasses need to be on. And you know, normally we do this camp in person. Normally we're on site at schools throughout Vegas. And so this year we're virtual. So we are able to have students from Canada and Germany and all over the world. Barbados, the Caribbean, all over. So let's start with a quick Cybersecurity 101 video, and I'm going to come back and I have a few questions for you all and see who is listening. So you want to pay attention because I'm going to quiz. You'll type your answer in the comment as we get ready to share this video with you. Okay, so pay close attention. It's only about 3-4 minutes. We know attention span is not really long these days. Just a couple minutes, and I'm going to ask you some questions. Cybersecurity 101. How many know what cybersecurity is, first of all? You know what cybersecurity is? You're about to find out. Cybersecurity 101. Here we go. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen, young students and all over the world. Here we go.
Would you be comfortable living in a house that someone else had the key to? What if an underground tunnel led into it from a public park, where its windows could never quite close all the way? Would you trust it with your safety and your privacy? The internet is that house. This is not to say never go into the house, but rather you should know the hazards before you store all of your valuables there, and do what you can to protect them. So why is it insecure, and why can't we just fortify it until it's safe? Well, first of all, the internet was not originally built to be what it is today. It's like someone decided to expand a shoebox into a skyscraper. The internet originally developed when computers were huge and so expensive to own that only universities, big businesses, and a few governments had them. The point, originally, was to let these massive supercomputers talk to each other. And as soon as two computers could send information back and forth, we had a network. The network gradually grew until personal computers emerged in the 1980s, and then it exploded. Soon, people were not just talking to each other, but also exchanging money, playing games, reading news, shopping, and doing everything we associate with the internet today. Other devices started talking to the network too. Phones and cars and refrigerators and elevators and power plants and much, much more. But the ease of all those devices talking to each other came at a price: security. One computer could send another instructions to delete everything on it or take it over. We call these viruses and malware. Or one person could steal another's identity by guessing, cracking, or extracting a password. Vulnerabilities such as these will never completely go away because they're built into the internet's very architecture. Criminals use them to steal billions of dollars, governments use them for surveillance, and hacktivists use them to further their political goals. Between 2004 and 2013, over 1 billion records of personal information were stolen or leaked through data breaches of major organizations. As a thought experiment, let's imagine what a perfectly secure internet might look like. Users would not be allowed to download or install anything onto their computers. All internet traffic would be monitored and regulated by bots and humans, massively limiting the number of websites you could visit. In order to log on to a website, you'd have to type in a 100-character password, submit a genetic sample, and whistle a tune. The servers that hold data would be kept in heavily armed fortresses on the moon. And even with all these safeguards in place, some clever hacker would almost certainly still find a way in. The good news is, even with our flawed internet, there are simple things you can do to protect yourself. And there are a lot of people committed to making the internet more secure. In Nova's cybersecurity lab, you'll play as one of these people, protecting a company that's the target of increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks. You must continuously strengthen your defenses to thwart these attackers. You'll do this by completing challenges that will give you basic coding abilities, help you spot scams designed to trick you into giving up your secrets, and teach you how passwords are cracked and strengthened. The house that is the internet may be built on a shaky foundation, but it's been a home to innovation and an unprecedented free exchange of ideas. It's up to us to make it livable in spite of its flaws.
All right. Woo! Hopefully you all enjoyed that video, because the game that you saw, in just a few minutes after we watch one more video, we're going to be playing a cybersecurity game. That's right. We're going to be playing a cybersecurity game today. Now, I told you I was going to ask you a couple questions to see if you were listening. So my question that I have for you right now is, what are some of the devices that are currently connected to the network? And part two, what is a network? I want you to type your comment into, I see somebody saying they want to hack. Type your comment in the answers to that question. What are some of the devices, some example devices that are connected to the internet? And then connected to the network, I apologize. What are devices that are connected to a network? Give us some samples. And then what is a network? Don't all jump in at once while I pull up the next video. Ooh, phone, good job. Laptop, okay. I'm about to also play our next video. Go ahead, Caleb, I see you. Yeah, phone is connected to a network. Computer, everybody show. All right, I love it. That's correct. You guys are smart. Is that Barbados doing all the answers? St. Lucia, who's that? When you do an answer, put your location there so we know who is in the house. This next one, I can't wait to show you, because this is a cybersecurity parable. One of my favorite. I show it every year at camp. I love it. Wait a minute. Let me stop this computer here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me see your answers. This is quiz time. St. Lucia, all righty. I thought so. When you put your answer, put your location. You're going to get some practice in typing in this class. Anybody that know me know we're going to incorporate typing in our camps. You guys are great. Tablet, computer, car train. What in the world is a car train, Akelia? All right, Akalia. I hope I said your name right. All right, watermelon. Hai says computer. That is great. Yes. Now, this next video. Oh, now part two of the question was, what is a network? And don't look at Google. I want you to know from the video. State from the video, what is a network? What is a network? Don't all jump in at once. Hey, little Jaden. Deborah Ponce, my goddaughter. Hey, Waterman, Barbados elevator. Now, how is the elevator a network? Are you serious? All righty. A series of computer. Maryland in the house. Family Biz Williams. All righty. A network, you cannot answer a question with a question. A network is not a network. Who put that on there? Wait a minute. A network is a global sharing point. Oh, somebody went to Google. I could tell that's a Google answer. Cameron Seeley, how old are you? A network is a place to do stuff online. Okay, that sounds like a kid's answer. Kimani, John Baptiste, what is a network? You cannot answer a question with a question. A network is a way to connect stuff together. Yeah, that's an acceptable kid's answer. Connect what kind of stuff though? Let's get a little bit more specific. Because can I connect my purse together? I have a little purse right here. Can a network connect this purse? I don't know. Of course, I have my mask for social distancing and safety. What is a network? Hello, Raiders. All righty. 9 question mark. All righty. Wonderful. So without further ado, because I don't want to run out of time, we're going to just prepare your brain to receive what Amani's going to be teaching today. So we're not going to give you a lot of coding stuff twice today. Today, you're going to have it a little light, but you're going to get the coding in just a few minutes. When Amani comes on the screen, you're going to get into some stuff today. All right. You ready for the cyber privacy parable? One of my favorites. I am 12. Thanks, Waterman. My name is Zerna. All right, Zerna. Here we go. Pay attention. This is going to be cyber privacy parable. I'm going to share this one of my favorites. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. Pay close attention because this will actually scare some of you. Well, not scare you, but it'll open up an awareness to some things that I promise you did not know. Now, the key word to this is it's a parable. That's the key operative word to this video. But I'm going to ask you some questions when we're done. Alrighty. I love that we're virtual because can you imagine if we were in the classroom as we normally are every summer, and there's all these students making all these comments at the same time? I would be going, Coach Anna, Dr. Anna, I would be pulling my hair out one by one if we were all physically in a classroom. So I love this virtual space where you guys can all chat at the same time, put your comments. Yes, the network lets people talk to each other. Who's that? Iron King 9999. Great answer. You guys are so brilliant. Everybody play in our tech zone. Because we're not physically together where we're all talking. You know, if you were in my classroom right now, I would not allow everybody to talk at the same time because nobody would hear anything. This virtual chat, Dr. Anna, allows us to talk. All right, here we go. I'm going to be quiet so we can watch. You guys can tell I'm having way too much fun. I love this. Cyber privacy parable. You ready? You're going to learn some stuff. I don't care what you're doing. If you're multitasking, you want to stop what you're doing and watch this. It's only about 3 minutes long. This video is going to open up your mind, and your parents will be so grateful that you were watching this video. I think I set it up, your anticipation enough right now. I'm going to go ahead and play it. Stand by, young people. 2020 Youth Coding Camp. Here goes.
You've probably heard that you need to be careful about what you post online. Well, here's a story that'll explain why. Once upon a time, a nice fellow named Tim uploaded a picture of himself to his favorite social network. It wasn't a bad picture, maybe a little goofy, but innocent enough. Little did Tim know that this photo would be his downfall. When Tim uploaded his photo to the internet, it was stored in a few places. One of these was the server of Tim's favorite social network, which allowed all his friends to see it. Another was a government server that picked up lots of information from the internet in case it could be useful down the line. And the third was the server of an identity theft crime ring. Back on the social network, a few of Tim's friends gave their approval to his picture, but most ignored it. Meanwhile, the social network made his data available to an advertising firm. They noticed the frisbee in Tim's photo and started sending him frisbee ads, hoping that he'd buy more frisbees. Unfortunately, he would not be able to because of what happened next. You see, the identity theft crime ring liked Tim's photo much more than his friends did. That's because it showed his house in the background. One of the pieces of data in the image file was the exact location where the photo was taken, allowing them to figure out Tim's address. Now, this crime ring had already collected some other information about Tim that he had unwittingly posted online, including his phone number and social security number. So they called Tim's bank, pretended to be him, and tricked the bank into resetting his password using all of the information they had. Needless to say, they transferred all of Tim's money into their own pockets. They also gained access to his email accounts and sent his friends malware that stole their bank account information. This was bad for Tim's social life. To console himself over the loss of his friends, Tim took a vacation halfway across the world, and by strange coincidence chose the very same country that had intercepted his photo. Unfortunately for poor Tim, the nifty design on his shorts was also the flag of a rebel army trying to overthrow that country's government, and he was identified as a possible threat. So he was pulled aside at security and denied entry. Tim's story is pretty much a worst-case scenario, and is almost certainly not what's going to happen the next time you post a picture online. But each of these things does happen to people on a daily basis, except for maybe the rebel army bit. Information that you post publicly can be stored by anyone who finds it, and your private communications might be intercepted and read by advertisers, news outlets, governments, and criminals alike. In fact, over 10 million Americans have their identities stolen each year. So try to be careful about what information you post online. Keep all of your software up to date, and make secure passwords that are different for each site you visit. These problems will probably never go away unless we invent a completely secure way of communicating and sharing with each other online. Sorry, Tim.
All right. Wow. Now I want to hear, what was your takeaway? That was a lot going on. So I want to hear, what was your takeaway? I want to hear, what did you learn from that? What did you learn from that video? That's what I want to hear. And then we're going to look into, somebody wrote a note about secret lives of hackers. We're going to look at that next. And then we'll play the cybersecurity game. I want to see your comments. What did you learn? What did you learn? Poor Tim. Kimani. Carol Williams. Hi, Carol. Hi, Sister Carol. Said cybersecurity is an excellent training. Oh, thank you, Sister Carol. Oh, thank you. All right, so I want to learn. What did you learn from that? That was good for adults and kids. So I want to know from our students, what is it that you learned? Never get social media or post your info. Great job, Kamani. Don't forget to put your age and location when you make a comment. Alrighty, a single photo could ruin your life. Omar Gabriel. All right, I know you're from Barbados. All right, thank you, Omar from Barbados. I forgot your age, but I know you're from Barbados. Julia Edward, that he should not have put personal information online. That's absolutely correct. Cameron Seeley, don't send photos with your phone number. All righty, Cameron from Barbados. St. Lucia. All righty, anybody else? We'll take about 4 more. Oh, Baidami Akin. Wow, too bad. He should have his house number. Now, Caleb, I learned to be very serious on how to put your info outside. Also, can you send the link Barbados? All righty. Yes. Make sure anything you post on social media should have your private information. You guys are so smart. I don't know what to do with you all. Never send your photos with your address. That's good. And not to send personal pictures. We'll take 2 more, and then Queen Hannah. I love your name. That you have to look at your background. Okay. Akelia, that the internet can be dangerous. 8-year-old Akelia. Wonderful. In just a few minutes, we'll be hearing from Amani. I got 1 more video and a quick cybersecurity game for you guys. And then we're going to get into some coding, hands-on with Amani. I'm giving your brain a break, because trust me, you're going to have Amani for 2 hours. Well, minus your brain breaks. And Amani's still in the background. So we always start with our power hour with some educational, informational tools and information that can help you in your technology life and world. Don't post too much. Good. And then Misty said from St. Lucia, don't post or message anything that will link anything personal about you. So you all are going to be smart cybersecurity kids. I love it. All right, we got 1 more, and then I'm going to give you a link so you guys can play the game. All right, we just got to get, because I'm going to send this because one of you said you want to be a hacker. I want you to learn about hackers. This is another good one. Almost my favorite. This is probably third to the favorite of my cybersecurity ones. This one is entitled The Secret Lives of Hackers. Oh, I'm so excited about that one. Let's go ahead and listen to this one.
Burglar, a vandal, an inventor, or a spy? The answer completely depends on whom you ask, because the word hacker has taken on. Which of these people is most like a hacker? A burglar, a vandal, an inventor, or a spy? The answer completely depends on whom you ask, because the word hacker has taken on all of these meanings and more over the years. But it's the wrong question. It's like asking, is a chisel something you use to break into safes, to deface buildings, or to carve statues? No, the questions we should be asking are, what is hacking and why do people do it? In the broadest possible terms, hacking is creative problem solving that takes advantage of the properties of things in unexpected ways. So when Galileo used curved glass to magnify the stars, that was a hack. Or when NASA engineers saved Apollo 13 with a book, a plastic bag, and a roll of duct tape, that was a hack. Of course, usually when hacking comes up, we're talking about computer hacking, but the idea is the same. Computer hacking is just creative problem solving that takes advantage of the properties of computers and networks in unexpected ways. For example, phone providers used to use tones and beeps to get their phones to communicate with their networks. What they did not expect was that hackers would figure out that those tones could be imitated with toy whistles found in Captain Crunch cereal boxes, thereby bypassing the need to pay for the call. So why do hackers hack? Many are driven by intellectual curiosity. They want to learn how a system works to discover its quirks and hidden secrets. They are like cave explorers who venture into darkness and see what they can find. Steve Wozniak, one of the founders of Apple, started out like this. Like many hackers, his early explorations inspired him to start tinkering and inventing. Other hackers are like the security forces who want to defend their fortresses of information. They find the chinks in the internet's armor, like the heartbleed bug, and patch them up before they can be used against you. And of course, there are hackers with less than noble intentions. They can be motivated by greed, fame, rebellion, or the desire to hurt others for cheap thrills. These are the hackers that media stories have taught us to fear. Some of them are brilliant minds gone astray, but many of these so-called hackers are just kids who run programs that they don't understand. Others are criminal syndicates that may know more about cheating and robbing people than creative problem solving. There are also hackers who operate in morally gray areas, who might steal information to expose corruption, or violate privacy in the name of national security. They consider what they're doing just and for the greater good, while others see their actions as dishonorable and wrong. But assigning labels of right and wrong or good and bad to hacking is no more productive than pinning those labels to a hammer. It's how and why the hammer is used, to build or to destroy, that matters, and that you must choose for yourself. Hackers, like hammers, are here to stay, whether we like it or not.
All right. So you have to tell me, what is it that you learned from that video? The hackers video. What did you learn from the hackers video? Comment. It's comment time now. And then we're going to play the hackers game. So it is now time for your takeaway. Want to hear from a few people in the comments. Caden, are you here? Caden White, I understand you were logging on, so type a comment if you are here. Let me know you are here. I see, was anybody watching this one? Don't post anywhere. No, that's from the old video. Hackers can be anyone and can be everywhere. Okay, we'll take that, Jaden. Hey, Jaden! We'll take that one. All righty, Omar, and that's Las Vegas. Omar Gabriel, and he's from Las Vegas, about different hackers. It's nice. It's not nice to hack. All righty, but guess what? You can have a good hacker and a bad hacker. So all hackers are not bad. Simon Victor, great job. Hackers are here to stay. You all are so smart. I wish you were all in the classroom. I give you all a big virtual hug. You're all so smart. Some are good. That is correct. Some hackers are good. And there are different types. Waterman, you rock. Tori, I'm glad to see some new names jumping in the tech zone here with your comments. That is correct. Zachary Felix, yes. Some hackers that are just kids that are looking for fame. Yes, that's true as well. All righty. So you know what? Are you guys ready for the cybersecurity game? Hackers are here to stay. Yes. That some hackers can be good. Oh, Queen Hannah's from Vegas. Wonderful. Hey, Queen Hannah. Love it. Hackers can be good or bad. Well said, version, and well said. Absolutely. Oh, Zor Ministry 7, hacking is problem solving. Okay, I'll take that. Akelia, that there is more than different types than one type of hacking. All right, I'll take that one too. So we're going to get ready for the cybersecurity game. We'll take a few minutes on that before we welcome Amani right here to the virtual stage. So we're going to go and we're going to get ready for the cybersecurity game. Don't worry about login. You don't have to log in. You can just play it as a guest. You can log in if you want, but in this case, because we're going to have you do hands-on, this is our activity for our cybersecurity game. Okay, so stand by. We're going to get ready for your cybersecurity game. Alrighty, let me pull it up here. And if there's any questions, you all can do that. If there's any questions, let us know. If you have any questions. So the link that I'm going to share with you in the chat is on my screen in a moment. But first, we're going to watch it on my screen. I'll give you the link, and then we will put it on your actual board, okay? So this is what we're about to play. You saw in the first video, there we go. Actually, let me show the audio here. We saw in the first video that you're going to have your chance to be several characters in this cybersecurity game. So what you're going to do is in the link that I provide on YouTube, I'll go ahead and put it in the YouTube chat. You are going to actually click on the YouTube channel like I'm going to do. And you're going to, and I'll put it in your comments, you are going to also go ahead and click on the play game so that you can play the game in Nova Labs. All right, I'm going to do a sample and then I am going to put your comments in the comment here, the link. So for those of you that are on YouTube, I'm going to type it in the comments right now. You'll see the link. Let me know that you see it so you can do it with me. Oops. There we go. I just put it in the link, so you all should see it in the comment. And I'm going to show on my screen what we are going to do. Okay? Fair enough? So let me go over here to our little game that we're going to play in the Cyber Lab. All righty. Are you ready? Let me stop sharing screen for a moment because I got a lot going on here. There we go. We're going to try this again. All right. So we're going to click on the Cybersecurity Lab. There we go. When you get the link, you're going to click on Play Game. And I'll stop there, give you a chance to be where I am. You're going to click on Play Game right there on the very top. And we'll give you a chance to be where I am. You all should see the link in YouTube. Can you all see the link? Can you all, somebody said I am on it already. So you all should see the link. I just put it on the screen as well. When you guys are answering questions, I'm going to start putting your comments on the link as well. So you all should be able to see the link right now. Can you? Let's try it again. You should be able to see the link. You should. be able to see the link right here. After you hit play game, you should be at the point where it says, you are the Chief Technology Officer of a startup social network company. Now, you want to choose an avatar first. Now, for those comments that you all are making, for those great answers, I am going to... Hi, Patty Pennington, my sister from Detroit. Great to see you, family. You guys are going to be, you are the Chief Technology Officer of a startup company. So pick your avatar. I'm going to pick, let's see, this is our logo brand color, so I'll pick the turquoise lady. Now, choose a company name. We're going through this. I want you to be doing it at yourself. Let me put the link back on the screen. You should see this in your comments. Now, we have almost 400 students registered for this class. For those that are wondering why, we're on different social media networks right now. You're wondering, why are we doing it this way? That's why, because there's no classroom big enough to have everybody. But the way we'll get around it is we'll post your comments. I just post the link, but it's also in your YouTube comments. So all you have to do is click on that link. I'm only posting it on your screen so you can look for that link. Look for this link that I post called pbs.org/WGBH/Nova Labs. Just look for it in the history. There's so many comments you guys are making. Just scroll up if you don't see it. It's on YouTube in the comments. Oh, Margaret's from Detroit. Great, Margaret. Great to see you. All right, so let me get back to class. I'm going to choose a company name. I'll choose Facebook since we're broadcasting. Notice the twist on word here, Facebook. So I chose my avatar. I want you all to do it with me. I chose my avatar. I chose my company name. Now I'm going to go to step 3. It's going to say, are you ready? Let me pause for a moment. Are you all there? Yes or no? Just type Y or N. Is everybody flowing with me? I'm going to go by the majority. We're recording, so if somebody's lost by the wayside, you can go back and check it out. Are you guys flowing with me? Can you all hear? Just a Y or N. Just a Y or a N. If you're flowing with me. All right, Y. Perfect. All righty. Woo! You all are flowing. We're cruising. So your screen says, are you ready? We're going to click on next. Remember, I'm that little green lady avatar there. Ready for what? Ready to launch the site, of course. You know, Facebook. Haha, get it? The social media company we've been building for the last year. Oh, yeah. But first, I should... Great, because we published the site an hour ago. We're up and running. Now, they're setting up the scenario for you in this game. So pay close attention to your scenario based on what you picked. Yours may be a little different. Mine is Facebook. You may have picked the one that's like Instagram. Now, pay close attention to the scenario. They say, we published the site an hour ago. Remember all the cybersecurity training you got this morning. They've been up and running an hour ago. They have 113 users. I mean, they're all our friends and family, but still. Notice who's talking. That's the cat. Notice my avatar here is saying, what's wrong? We don't really have any cybersecurity in place yet. What? Is that your entire job? That's the little friendly cat there. Yes, but I didn't think you launched the site without telling me. Well, too late now. What could go wrong? All right, they're setting up the game for you. A lot of things. Some small companies like ours have been taken down by malware recently, like viruses and stuff like that. No one would do that to us. Uh-oh, incoming cyber attack. I better go take care of this. Now, this is the end. Now, you're going to get to the actual attack that you have to take care of. The virus attack. Remember, there's 113 users. If any of the employees, remember, you're the owner of a company. If any of your employees download a computer virus, it could destroy company files, steal passwords, email spam to the company's contacts. Buy defenses to protect Facebook. So what cyber defenses are we going to purchase? Now, our job is to invest in the strongest defenses based on what you know about the attack. Some defenses are more effective than others. Click on the I for more information about each defense. You will spend all of your coins, of course, these are virtual, in defenses. All right, so I is for more information. Now, placing a coin on B on a card will generate that defense on the B side of your network cube. In later levels, you'll earn coins by playing challenges. The more coins you earn, the better defended you'll be. Everybody got it? Cyber attacks. Strong attack, user loss high, medium, user loss moderate, or weak attack, user loss low. In this battle, a side on the left is undefended, and the B side is partially defended. If you earn 6 coins on later levels, you'll be able to block all of the attacks. Now, it just set up the game. It's ready for you. Hopefully you were following along. Now, because this is a virtual classroom, I am going to ask you for this virus attack. Remember how it works. You got to buy the 6, get the 6 coins. We need to buy cyber defenses to protect Facebook against the imminent cyber attack. Click on any of the 6 ports below to spend your 3 coins. Wow, we got 3 whole coins. A is the left side of your network cube, and B is the right. For each defense, A and B are equally powerful. So, with my 3 coins, which one, going back to the virtual tech zone, which one should I spend the coins on? Should I upgrade the software? Should I back up company files? Or should I spend it on phishing email detection training? Where should I spend my money to protect my Facebook? Type your answer on the screen and we'll post the winning answer. Type your answer on the screen in our virtual classroom. Where should I spend the money? On upgrading software, backing up the company files, phishing detection. Click on any of the 6 ports to spend our coins. The left side is our network cube, and the B side is the right. Now, who's telling me? I'm going to type your answers as you come, and we'll test and see if you're right. So, Kimani is saying antivirus for both and back up the company. So let's see if he's right. So antivirus, software for both. And then you said what? Upgrade the company, back up the company file. Okay. I only have 3 coins. So is that what you're saying? Before I hit it, battle. Let's see what happened. It's going to tell me. Final answer, battle. Whoa, let's see what happened here. We lost 27 users in the attack. Amani. See how your cybersecurity defenses performed against the cyber attack. Let's learn from that. All right. Half of the company files were damaged by ransomware virus. Now, if we click on the word, it's going to show us that ransomware is a type of malware that holds victims and computer files hostage by locking access to them or encrypting them. That's like scrambling them where nobody can understand. It then demands a ransom if the victim wants his or her files back. That is very popular. I've actually gotten ransomware before. I didn't pay it though. Now, what is a virus? I'm going to quiz you on this later, so you want to take notes. Computer virus, a computer program that can copy itself. I know everybody on the line has heard of this, and can cause harm in various ways, such as stealing private information. You learned about that in today's video, or destroying data. Now, your antivirus software blocked most of the viruses, but it didn't spot the brand new ransomware that ruined half of your company's profile. Remember, you got your fictitious company in this game. 10 employees were tricked into downloading computer viruses attached to the phishing email. Now, phishing emails are attempting to trick people into revealing sensitive information. I bet your parents get this all the time because I know I get them. They give you these fake links in your email, try to get you to click on them, such as passwords and credit card numbers, often by using emails or fake websites that look like they're from trusted organization. For example, I get an email from my bank, and it's really not from my bank, but they put the logo on it and the link make it look like it so I can click on it and boom, they steal my information. Hopefully you learned something from that. Alrighty. You did it, but we're still standing. So thank you. We're going to go to the next one. Oh, Shanta, tell me how yours was. You guys should be doing it along with me, but then you're multitasking, playing in the main tech zone. We're still standing, but barely. We didn't have enough resources to properly protect us. Our problem-solving skills can get us through anything that comes our way. Now, we're going to do one more, and then we're going to turn it over to Amani because we have learned quite a bit on cybersecurity today. And you know what? I'm going to pause for a moment because we have, oh, you guys are still playing. Okay, we'll do 5 more minutes. I can tell you guys are still playing in the tech zone. You lost 14. Wow. All right, we're going to keep going. I'll bet that earned us some users. That's the spirit, you and me. We're going to change the world. Look how far we've come already. Alrighty, we built a company and a website from nothing but a dream and your savings. Here comes the next one. Play challenges to grow Facebook and earn stars to buy cybersecurity defenses. The more stars you earn, the better prepared you'll be for the next cyber attack. Wow, do you see these? We're going to hold off on that for tomorrow so that we can get right into our game development coding with our Nevada Help Desk student, Amani. I don't know if we need, you know what, let's do a 2-3 minute video so we can transition. Get ready for Amani. Go on a brain break because it's going to be intense. We're going to get ready to receive Amani. So let's put on a brain break really quick here. I'll do a quick one. I like this one also because our brain break, let me tell you, young people, because this age group is kindergarten through 8th grade, don't do like I used to do when I was little. I had to wait till I was older and learn that this was not good. You do not want to be on a computer. How many of you are all on a computer for 10, 12 hours, fall asleep with the laptop in your hand? Fall asleep and you're staring at the computer hours and hours and hours at a time. I'm paying for it now. 16, 18, you're just your eyes strain. It's important every hour that you're on the computer to take your eyes off the computer or at least do a brain break. Get some physical activity on if you're in your chair for hours. There's some people that have gotten critically ill from just being in the chair for hours and hours, not getting up, not stretching, can cause clots. There's so many medical issues that can happen if you are in, see, I see you on there saying 10 hours at a time. Not good. So we're trying to give you some good habits to practice. Take brain breaks every hour. When you're on the computer, stretch. So we have this cute little brain break that I love. I'm going to share. I share with you all my little favorite brain breaks. If we were in person at the school, which we normally are at several schools in the summer with our camp, we would actually be doing what these guys are doing right now. So because we're virtual, I'm going to trust that you guys will do what I would be doing if we were in person, okay? So for our little brain break, we're going to do a brain break really quick. Really quick, a brain break. Take it just a few minutes, and then we're gonna be, the next voice you will hear will be that of Amani. So we're ready for our brain break. Are you ready? Rest, stretch. You're gonna do some little movements because again, we have and adults. I see some adults on the line with us. You guys can try it too, because when I'm in class with the students, I do this as well. So you guys can, parents, if you're watching with us, you guys can have fun as well. It's just a few little minutes, and here we go. Our brain break.
Our body and mind.
Move and Freeze from the award-winning CD Brain Boogie Boosters by The Learning Station. Come on, move and freeze. Come on, move and freeze. Come on, move and freeze. Come on, move.
Amani, you gonna do it with
and
us?
Freeze. Put your right hand on your left knee, your left hand on your right. Your knees move in and out, your hands stay tight. Now keep on with your moving, but switch hands on your knees. Keep on moving in and out till we say freeze. Come on, move and 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 freeze. Put one hand across your shoulder, one hand across your back. Now jump in place. Do you like it like that? Yeah! Now switch hands across your shoulders and switch hands across your back. Now just be nimble, just be quick, just like Jack. Come on, jump and freeze. 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 Everybody shake your body from your head down to your feet. And don't stop shaking until we stop the beat. Shake it to the east and shake it to the west. Shake it, shake it, shake it. With my friends who are the best. Come on, shake and freeze. 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 Put your right hand on your head, your left on someone's knee. Now turn once in a circle and buzz like a bee. Now turn the other way, don't let go or lose your spot. Keep turning left, keep turning right until the music stops. Come on, turn and freeze. 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 All right, you can move now. Riddle.
All right. So without further ado, now guess what? We're going to have 3 students each day participate with us in our virtual studio so we can see your camera. So if you have a camera and a microphone, you can actually be a part of this live stream. We're going to pick 3 per day out of all of you that are in our studio, that you can be a part of our virtual audience. So I've been watching your comments, your chat. I've been watching your participation. If you want to be a special guest in our studio, we have room for 3 per day. Then we will send you out a link, and you will be able to actually be a guest participant. So we're watching you. So if you want to participate and be a guest in our studio, virtual, live cross stream, you're already on as students in our virtual classroom. But if you want to be featured on the big camera like where we are today, let me know. We're watching. I can see all your comments. Who's studying, who's participating, who is engaged, who is learning and growing. You just may be featured even on graduation day. Oh, let's see. But throughout, you have an opportunity. So here we go. We're going to get started. All righty. None other than our special guest, game development coach for today, NHD student, none of this We're excited to welcome none other than Amani. Hey, Amani. All right. Your audio's good. Let's see when you unmute it if it's going to be as good. Unmute, no fans, no background. Let's see how we doing today.
Is my audio all good?
Yes, your audio is awesome.
Good.
You are now in the capable hands of Amani for game development. Get ready to work that brain today, and we're so excited for your journey. I'm going to turn it over to Amani. Go right ahead, Amani.
All right. So, as many of you were also here yesterday, we were learning about how to use Blender, and today I wanted to go into essentially a crash course in how to use Blender and all the fun stuff with that. So, I do have a list here, but I want to show you guys. So, just as like a show of chat, I guess, how many of you guys have downloaded Blender already from yesterday? If you guys haven't, I will post the link again. So that, here's the link. So if you guys haven't downloaded Blender already, make sure you guys go to the link I posted in chat and get Blender. And today I want to just go through just getting familiar with the way Blender works and how it's used and all that. So as a reminder, I guess, yesterday, Blender is a 3D modeling tool, meaning that it's not only used in game design, but it can be used in anything that has to do with 3D modeling. Like if you guys wanted to create or go into like CGI or movie production, Blender is a tool that people use. Anything that has related to do with taking a 3D model and putting it somewhere, the 3D model can be usually created in Blender. So Blender is also very free, not very free, but it's also a free source, meaning that it is great for anyone who's just learning or getting into 3D modeling and game design, and reason why I use it as well. So the first thing I want to show you guys, as you guys have Blender open, I'll follow you guys through like the basics. So once you guys have Blender open, you should see something like this. It's a blank screen, or it's just a cube. This is called a camera over here, and then this is called a light. Something I actually want to show you guys is if you guys press Z, hold Z, and then go to render. That's all the image is right now. So you guys can kind of scroll around or look around and see how this cube looks like with a simple light. And if you press 0, you'll see what the camera sees. Make sure you guys press 0 on your keypad, not at the top. Just make sure you press it on your number pad. The link I posted in chat, I can post it again for you guys. The link is in the chat. If you guys see it, I am Mr. Acorn. I'm the one who keeps posting the same link.
I don't see the link. Are you posting it in private chat?
No, I'm
Or
posting it in the YouTube chat.
Can you put it in private chat too, so I can put it on our multiple channels? Because depending on where they're at, they're not seeing it. Some are not seeing it. So if you send it on private chat, then I'll get it out. Thanks.
So Blender is also a tool used for like creating different 3D models as well, as I've already said, meaning that you can actually do some production in Blender, like creating an animation or creating like a 3D image or 3D scene. So this is like a very basic 3D scene where you have a light and you have your cube, and that's it. And you have your camera as well, so you can see your cube. So that's what Blender starts with. That's what it starts off with. As you just first open the program. That's all you guys should see. So a couple things that I want to go over. So if you guys press Z, if you guys are in rendered mode, if you guys press Z and go to mouse over solid, make sure you hold Z too or it'll disappear. So now let's get on into some actual building. So a very quick thing in Blender. So a very quick thing on Blender is that you can select everything. So in Blender, you see how I'm selecting over different things and it turns orange. Well, let's say I have multiple things, right? I have like 3 cubes here and I want to select all of them. A is the button you press to select everything. So you guys can somewhat follow me through it. This is just going, as I've kind of already said today, but just as a reminder, if I do go a little bit fast or you don't get everything, that's okay. We'll be going over everything again tomorrow where we will be actually creating something for the game we'll make. But today I just wanted to show you just different tools, tips that you guys can use in Blender. So, actually I'll show you guys how I did this. So if you guys want to create, or if you guys want to duplicate anything, you do not need to pay for it. Blender is completely free. And if you guys don't have Blender right now and you guys are waiting on it to download, this video will be recorded, so you can look over it after it's downloaded. So to duplicate, which is kind of what I just did right now, is Shift D. Shift D will duplicate whatever object you have, and then you can also bound it to an axis, which is like, you know, your x-axis, your y-axis, your z-axis, and you can place it somewhere. So I can place it over here, and that's what I just did. You can press Shift D, move it to maybe another axis, press Shift D again. Now we have all these cubes everywhere. And so if we wanted to select all these cubes, or if we wanted to select everything, we can just press A. Yeah, everything lights up now, because regularly when we select something, we can only select it one at a time. To select everything, we can press A. But if we want to select multiple things and not everything, we can select something and then press Shift click. Make sure you're pressing left click as well. Shift click, and now we have all the cubes that we can move around. To move things around, it's G. So same way as kind of like when we were duplicating it, we can also move things around, or we can bound it to an axis as well. And that's G to move things. Oh, yes. For zooming, you can just use your scroll wheel. And then, yeah, so the next thing I wanted to teach you guys is to delete things. Yes. So now that we have all these objects on our screen, how do we get rid of some of them? So we can press X. X is the button you need to know to delete everything. You can delete all these extra cubes, but now all these cubes are deleted. If we wanted them back, we can press Control Z. Control Z is the undo tool. Undo. There we go. Words. We can undo whatever we just did, and yeah, undo. And then if you wanted to redo, it's Control Shift Z. So Control Z, Control Shift Z. Edit mode. So another thing about Blender is that there's this really cool thing called edit mode, which allows us to manipulate like vertices in the shaper object. So let's say with this cube, right? If we press tab, we'll go into edit mode, and you can see all the different vertices and edges and faces. So to switch between editing a face or an object, we can press 1, 2, or 3. So 1, as you kind of see up here, it's changing as well. 1 is to edit a vertice. What key is it again for what? To go into edit mode, it's tab. I think that's what you wanted to know. To go into edit mode, it's tab. And then to change between editing vertices, edges, or faces, it's 1, 2, and 3. It changes up here, and if you didn't want to press all the buttons, you can select them with your regular mouse up here. Yeah. So let's say we want to edit some vertices. Another good thing to know about Blender is the different tools you can take advantage of to edit different faces and vertices. So I'll start off with face, right? Number 3. So what you can do is there's this really cool thing called inset, which allows you to sort of make a face and then kind of make it smaller. To inset a face, you have to first select it and then press I. So as you kind of see what the tool's doing here, it's going to make another face and kind of manipulate the face itself to have more. So I could inset it like this, and now we have the 4 new faces surrounding our main one. And then another cool tool is that to make it look a little cool, we could raise it with G. So remember, G is how you move things. So that comes up a little bit. And then there's also another cool thing that we can do called extrude. So what extrude does is it kind of makes a new face and pushes it up. Or not pushes it up, but pushes wherever you are. So to extrude, it's E. And then just kind of like when we were duplicating objects or when we're moving objects, you can constrain it to a vertex or to a axis. So if we press extrude, we can move it up or down on the x-axis. We can move it side to side. Or no, we can move it side to side on the x-axis. We can move it up and down on the z-axis. And move it side to side again on the y-axis. So right now I'll be moving it on the z-axis. Make it come up a little bit. And if we make it come up just a little bit like that, we have something there that looks kind of like a base of a pole, you could kind of say. If you guys don't understand everything, yes, you can watch it again, but also remember that tomorrow as well I'll be going a lot more slower and a lot more sort of kind of class-based, because we'll be creating an actual like an actual bridge. So just kind of as a recap of everything we learned, we can go into edit mode, right, using tab. We can move faces using G. We can actually move anything using G. Then we can inset using I. And then we can extrude using E. So that's the first thing. And then something else that I see here. So Blender is very useful in terms of just being creative and doing whatever you see. So if you think something can work out, you can change or you can do it essentially. If you can think of it, you can change it. All right. So I know I'm going a little bit fast for everyone here, but to make it up. So something that we could do here is I want to show you guys how to scale things, right? So if you see what I've done, I've pressed 2, which is to change vertices. And then if you go Alt left click, you'll select everything on that sort of circle. So if I am going too fast, just remember that this will be recorded. So if you need to go over anything, it will be there to record. So just kind of as what I just did there again, I press 2 to change to edge select, and then I use Alt left click to select all the edges in this sort of square circle, this sort of square. And then I'm going to do something called scale. So this is where what scale does is essentially, you think it does, it'll scale out everything, but we're only scaling out the edges. Yes, so Blender is it can get very complicated, but it can also be very simplistic at times. Blender is all about geometry and understanding like 3D objects and 3D vertices and how they move in like a 3D space. So for scaling things out, you press S, and voila. And then something else I want to show you guys is called edge loops. So what an edge loop is that it'll make edges on a loop. So any place that has like, sometimes Blender won't accept your edge loop because it doesn't see like a proper, okay, for scale. So as I said before, I'll go over it again. If you see edges around here, make sure you have edge select on first, right? And then you go Alt click. Make sure you Alt click this specific edge right here. And it'll select all the edges around it, surrounding it, or all the edges that it connects to, I guess, to make, or that finishes that square, right? And then you press S to scale. Yes, there is a scale button on the side here as well. I think it's one of these. No. Anyway, there is a scale button somewhere around here. Yeah, it's scale. So you can click here, and then it can scale things out for you. But the hotkey for that is S. And after you click here and you want to go back to whatever you were regularly doing with your mouse, make sure you click up here, the select box. If you guys do have any questions, please put them in the chat. I am constantly looking back and forth and reading those. So yeah, that's how we scale it like that. So now we have like this, I guess, kind of little chandelier thing. Not chandelier, but anyway, I'll show you guys what we can do with it. So the thing about edge loops, right? So you can make an edge loop by going Control R. So what an edge loop is, as I've already said, is that it makes more edges wherever you select, right? So the edge loop will kind of snap to whatever edge you're closest to. So as you see, there's like a yellow outline of it kind of predicting what I want it to do. So I want to make an edge loop here. And then you can also use your scroll wheel to make more edge loops. So you can see how you can make more edge loops, less edge loops, and that's using your scroll on your mouse. So the link was posted in chat, I'm pretty sure. And for some people who can't download it, make sure you are not on a Chromebook. So some older Chromebooks may not be able to run Blender. So for an edge loop, right? Make sure you left click where I'm at, right? Which is this sort of area right here. And make sure you have two yellow lines indicating where the edge loops are going to be. Left click, and then it'll give you the option to sort of change where the edge loops are. To make it centered, or to make the edge loops centered so that they're not like offset by anything, press escape, and that will center them. Now for the, now what I also want to do is to extrude, right? So if we go back to 3, where we can see all of our faces, and extrude. Now this is where we're going to use something else called, where we used it before to select all the different edges. If we select all of our faces and go Alt left click, we will select all the faces in the edge loops that we just made. And then pressing E, you can extrude. So now we have like that little, I'm not sure how you call it, but it's kind of like that little bevel area, I guess you'd say, a little step. And that would create like a little bit of detail in that 3D model. So another big thing, I'll just talk about it quickly, is that this is more towards how you're going to have to differentiate between being about being a 3D modeler, is that you need to first know how, like geometry I always talked about in Blender, how it's about understanding 3D shapes and understanding like 3D shapes and vertices and faces and how they interact in like a 3D plane. And you also need to understand about, what you need to understand is like different things about art, right? So what makes things look good, essentially. Something like this, something simple like this, is called adding detail. And detail makes it, not all detail is better at times, but the more detail there is in your model, the better it appears to be, or the better it looks. Small little segment. So then let's say if we want to do something else, we can inset these faces, like I was talking about detail. So Alt click again. Alt click these faces like right around here. Make sure you still have face select on. And then what you want to do is inset. So originally, if you just press I and you look like at the corner here, you'll see that it's insetting everything to make it like a little ring around it. We want it to inset every single face individually. So what we can do is press I again. So press I twice, and that will inset everything. And then what we can do from there is press, is go up here. So this is something in Blender that, oh, that's not much best. Layout. So this is something in Blender that you guys may not completely understand yet. It's called, it's essentially the transform pivot point. So what that's talking about is essentially where it's going to scale from. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. If you guys press tab again to go back into object mode, and then press Shift A. So Shift A is how you create anything, and then you highlight this mesh over here so that it opens up this panel. We're going to be making a lamppost. That's what I'm going to show you guys how to make right now, but we won't be using this one in the game. This is just something to show you guys how Blender works. And so, can anyone is anyone following me along at all? Just like a show of hands, does anyone need to cover anything again? Also, this video will be reposted again. And if you guys can't follow me completely... Oh, thanks. So we are making a lamppost. So right now I just want to show you guys about this thing up here, the transform pivot point. So if you guys go Shift A and add in like a, let's add in a cube. And then go G and then Z and then move it all the way up. And then press 7 on the number pad. So what 7 does there's a bunch of numbers on the number pad that do specific things. Like 7 it'll move your camera so that or move your screen so that it's looking at a top-down view. 1 will move it so that it's looking like at a side view. 3 does the same thing, but it looks at from like a different side. And then 9 just flips from whatever position you're looking at. So like 7, right? If you go back to the 7 view, make sure you're using the number pad. So make sure you're using the number pad. And if you guys press 7, you see the top down view. If you guys press 9, it'll look from the bottom up. It looks the same here because there's both just a cube and a cube because used in the way geometry works. Anyway, so if we go back to the 7 view, and as we were using before, Control D or Shift D, sorry, Shift D to duplicate an object. Do you guys have any questions so far? For anyone who is following along, please ask me questions. I will be more than happy to answer them. Shift D and then Y. So I'm just going to be duplicating these to kind of show you about the different pivot points, right? It doesn't have to be exact, but it does have to be like somewhat like this. So when it was talking about, oh, yes, you can color these, but I'll show you guys how to color them later. I'll do that maybe at the end of class today. So when I was talking about pivot points, right? So if you select all these, right? Remember, shift click is how you select different objects. For everyone who's just starting to download it, just remember that you can rewatch the video for anything you missed. Shift click is how you select multiple objects. And if you guys press scale, you see how it kind of scales from the center and how things move a lot more. It's kind of like it's scaling from the center point and then everything else scales from it, right? So this is where the different pivot points come in. So the main one that you'll be mainly switching through is the individual origin and median origin. So what those are is that the median origin is what we've been using a lot, which is all these little dots, right? It takes the center position of all those dots It takes the center position from all those dots and it scales it from there, which would be somewhere right here. As you see, you'll scale everything from that center point. And then the individual origin is where it scales everything from their own spot. So it'll start scaling the cubes like the size of them, I guess you could say, from their individual origin. So yeah, that's like a crash course what I wanted to show you. So to get rid of all these cubes, remember to press X. And delete. And then back to like our kind of lamppost here, I guess you could say. Press Tab to go back into edit mode. And if you guys don't have all these faces selected, make sure you have all these faces selected. And then make sure you have up here individual origins selected. And then press Extrude. So make sure you don't select it to or align it to an axis, and make sure it'll align itself automatically, and it'll extrude each face from its own individual sort of axis position, so that we can have like a small amount of detail at the bottom like that. So next we can sort of make the like lamp of the lamppost, I guess you could say, and we can inset this box here. Inset this top cube here, and then press Extrude. Make it really long so that it looks like a lamppost. It looks sort of like a lamppost. And then the final thing that we could use for a lamppost is a light. For a light, let's maybe try something like an isosphere, and let's go back. So make sure you're out of edit mode, right? So that you can shift A and add something that's called an isosphere. An isosphere is it's more a term used in geometry, but it's essentially a circle made out of triangles. And that's essentially what an isosphere is. So if we go back into, you can place the isosphere somewhat on top of it. So it kind of looks like a light. Oh, remember, G is what you use to move. And then you can also constrain it on axis using X or using, X, Y, and Z. So right now I was using the Z axis, so put it right on top of here. So to create an isosphere, remember, to create anything, remember that you're out of edit mode and you're in object mode, so you can't manipulate any vertices. Click Shift A and Mesh Isosphere. That's how you create an isosphere. And then you'll see your isosphere, it's kind of like in the middle of like the bottom part of our lamppost. And remember G and then Z, so that you can move it up just like that. So to make it like somewhat of a light, what we can do is press Tab. Make sure you have Take Select selected, and then press A to select everything. So make sure everything is highlighted, and then go to Select, which is this this panel right over here, and then checker deselect. So what checker deselect does is that kind of exactly what it sounds like. It deselects everything in like this checkered pattern. Then what we can do from there is press X and then faces. So I press Tab to go back out of edit mode, so you can kind of see here. It's kind of like a light thing. It's going to be a little bit of a light show, but I'll show you guys what I mean when we start playing with colors. But you kind of see here, looks not exactly like a light post, but it's going to be a little futuristic. So another very good thing to do also in Blender, just kind of as a tip, is that you always want to kind of zoom out, look at everything you've made, and then zoom back in to continue working. You zoom out so that you can see what you're doing, even though you might be able to think you can see what you did. You zoomed it all the way in here to make sure that whatever you're creating, whatever you're designing, you can see or kind of envision your final product a little bit. So let's say you want to make a little light here. This is where we can go. Make sure you're out of edit mode again. Go Shift A, and then go to UV sphere. UV sphere is a sphere that's made out of cubes instead of triangles. So we can press G and then Z and then move it all the way up. And then we can also scale it so that it sits right inside. Make it small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. But make sure it can fit inside of here, and you'll see why in a little bit. So this is going to be like our basic lamp post. We won't use this in our game, but this is just to kind of show you guys what Blender can do in a very short amount of time. And so what you can do now is that this is where you guys asked me about colors. I can show you guys what you can do with colors. So this side panel here is going to be very useful to you guys, especially going into like more advanced things in Blender. But if you click on here, it's called Material Properties. It looks like a little ball with like a checkered design on it. And so none of our objects have material properties on them. And yeah, so none of our objects have material properties on them, and we can start doing that now. So a thing that I would like to do is press Z and go into Material Preview. So Material Preview is sort of the preview mode for all your materials, I guess. Kind of says that in the name. And you're able to see what colors you're putting on everything. So like this little ball in here, right? We can make this our light by pressing New. Make sure you're on your material properties right over here so that you can get the same like side panel. And then press New. And this all this other stuff will come up. I know these are a bunch of numbers and they look kind of confusing or whatever. All I want you to do is click surfaces here and find one that's called emission. So what emission does is that it essentially will make this our light, and then we can change its strength to like 3 instead of 1. So this is going to be, but when we go into like our rendered view and start changing stuff, it'll look a lot cooler. Then we have here. So we can make this maybe like a goldish color. Whatever color you guys choose, you guys can make it. But to show you guys to make it like glossy gold, you guys can go on to New. Same thing here with surfaces, and then go glossy BSDF. And it'll turn it into like a glossy sort of metalish texture. And then at the color up here, you can make it to whatever color you guys want. I'll choose like a gold, orangish gold for mine. But that's what color I'll choose it. And then for here, this will be our like main lamppost. You can, it already has a material on it. So just kind of, if yours doesn't, make sure you click New, and then this kind of will pop up for you. And then we can change it maybe to a basic color. So to make it into just like slate, easy color, not slate, but something that isn't like out there, doesn't have any glossy or anything, set it to a diffuse BSDF shader. And then you guys can make it whatever color you guys want. I'll choose like a brownish for mine. I think brownish should be around there-ish. And then another thing that you guys can do is that if you wanted to, let's say, change the color of maybe a specific face or like a specific face in your model, but it's all one piece, you guys can click this plus button over here, and then this new like material slot will pop up on this model specifically. And then if you guys press New, nothing will happen. So what you guys need to do from here is tell Blender, hey, I want this face to align with this material. So if you guys go into edit mode again, remember tab, and then you'll see how these 3 buttons pop up: assign, select, deselect. So if we select the faces that we want to change its color, make sure shift click is how to select multiple faces. Shift click is how to select multiple faces, and let's say we want to select here. So to select multiple faces and to select like all the faces in the circle, you can go Shift Alt left click. If you guys can't do that, I mean shift click, you can just shift click all around, select all these 4 faces inside here, and then click assign. But make sure you have this slot selected and then click assign. Now you'll see they change color. So to get out of edit mode, just tab, and then let's make those faces kind of like a light, how we have up here. So you kind of see a little bit of like a neon. Make sure you guys go down here for select this drop down button and select our material.001. You can rename your materials, like we can rename this one light, but now it looks like a light. So to see what it would look like post-production, or like after you would render it out, after you render it out, go to rendered. So this is how it would look like after you guys rendered everything out with all the different things, and then press 0 to go into camera select. And now we run into a new problem. Our camera only sees the bottom part, so that means we need to move our camera back so that I can see everything. So we can do from here, right? If you guys have any questions, make sure you post it in the chat. I know I'm going a little bit fast for everyone, but make sure that you guys are still paying attention. Everything is all good. And please, if you have any questions, make sure you type those in the chat. If you guys can't see all your colors and materials, make sure you press Z and then select which mode you want. So to see your materials without like any lighting or anything, go to Material Preview. And then to see it with all the lighting, go to Rendered Mode. And then if you want to see what's inside your camera, press 0 on your number pad. Remember, 0 on your number pad. And then, so to move your camera, press N so that you can see this sidebar here. Your sidebar won't have as many things as mine, but it should have view. So make sure when you select your sidebar, you have lock camera to view. So what this will do is that whenever you move your where you're looking from, the camera will follow you. So you can select that, and then you can see how the camera is highlighted in red and will follow you. Let's get our lamppost in like the shot. Then you can put it at like whatever angle you want to put it at. I'll put mine at like this angle to make it look like menacing. Let's put it right here. And then as you see here, we have all this space on this side. I don't really like that space, so I'm going to change it. Make sure you deselect lock camera to view, because you don't want to actually find this perfect angle after all this tweaking and stuff. You can deselect it, or you don't want it to like mess up when you start moving it. So another thing that you can do is that if you go over on the world view, this layer right here, it's called the output properties. So here we can change the resolution of our camera so that it's not so wide. For me to do that, I would just flip these numbers around so that the angle looks a little better. So up here we can put 1080, and then as you see also over here our camera size changed, and then over here put 1920 so that it can match like sort of the orientation of our camera. So to change the view again of the camera, make sure you do lock camera to view. And move your camera, move your view to whatever you like. Also remember, if you guys are out of your camera and you can't see your camera, press 0 on your number key and that will lock your face into the camera. If you try to move your camera without lock camera to view, it'll just take you out of your camera view. So make sure you have 0 placed. And then let's add something cool like bloom. So if you go over here to our rendered properties and then click or select this one here, bloom. So as you see, bloom kind of makes all the lights bloom. Yeah. So Then we can play with some of the settings here. This is something that's very commonly done in Blender, where you sort of just kind of play with the settings you have. So you can, as you see here, you can like change the color of the bloom. I'm just gonna keep it at like white. Actually, I'll put it to like a slight yellow. And then you can change the threshold, and the threshold is like the distance of the bloom, you could somewhat say. I'll put mine to a sort of 0.2. I think 0.2 would work. And yeah, so we have like a little scene here set up. I know I went kind of quickly. So we have like a little scene here set up with our sort of makeshift lamppost, camera, and some bloom. We added some bloom to it. And now we have like this perfect image set up. And then we can make it into a regular image. So to do that, you guys have to go to render image. Then it'll take some time, and voila, you have your image there. So I want to take any questions from you guys, if you guys do have any. Oh, one other thing before I start taking questions. Make sure you guys go to image after you rendered out your image. Make sure you go to this image. Just kind of select there. Go save as, and then save it wherever you guys want it to. I'll save mine on desktop. Then name it lamppost, and then there's your image. And then we can also save this Blender file so that we're able to edit it as well whenever we want to. Control save or Control S. Sorry. So Control S will save, or will tell Blender, hey, I want to save this file. I'll save it in the same places here. Lamp. So yeah, so tomorrow I won't be going over this specific image, but I'll be going over another thing that we'll create like a finish line, a start line, and a finish line for our game. Oh, how do you change your camera view? So to change your camera view, make sure you press 0 and then lock camera to view. And then you can change whatever your camera sees from there. And then if you wanted to like take up your full size screen, make sure you don't have lock camera view selected, and then just scroll so that the camera takes up more of your screen. Then you can change it there so that you can see what your camera sees. Any other questions for you guys? Remember, this is a recording, or this is being recorded so that you guys can come back to it whenever you guys like. I can go over it again right now. We have enough time. So go back to 0. So just like a show of hands, who here was kind of like following along? Because I know I went through a lot of things right now. Yes, from a block to a lamppost. Blender is a very powerful tool like that. You can create anything your heart desires. That's perfect, Amani. So Blender, the best part about Blender is that you can create anything you want. I think that taking your own creativity into it is what it was made for. Another thing about Blender is that you guys can find other tutorials online. Like for me, I learned through just general YouTube tutorials, and learning how other people made other things. So if you guys want to learn more further on from just a simple lamppost, you can go online and find it. Or you can go online and learn how to do other things. Yep, you can do whatever you guys like. So any other questions from you guys? I could do like a quick overview for anyone who just got Blender installed. Also, remember switching modes, Z, and then solid. Make sure you hold down Z or it'll disappear. So Z solid, Z rendered, Z material preview. And there's also wireframe. What wireframe mode is, you can kind of see, it just shows you all like the different edges of your scene, or all your materials, or all your geometry. Another thing, especially just moving around and viewing, I know that I showed you guys how to scroll with just the scroll wheel. There's also another way to scroll where if you press Control and then middle mouse, Control and then the middle mouse button, and just press that down, you can scroll. It's a lot smoother scroll, I guess you could call it. So this was just like a small lamppost. I can show you guys what we'll be creating tomorrow. Let me open it over here. I'm waiting for this thing to open up. We'll be creating this. So tomorrow I'll show you guys how to create this, a finish line, and then a base. I think should be somewhere. Start, finish. Okay, yeah. So it's just going to be a start and a finish line. These ones don't have any materials on them, but we'll be making materials, or I'll be putting materials on them tomorrow. So Blender, it takes a lot of practice. So if something doesn't look good right now, there'll always be an opportunity to practice. And they'll always, Blender is also something, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So this is just starting off. Like for me, I have 3 years of experience. So it's all about just building up experience, getting to create different things, and moving on mainly from there, to the point that Blender kind of becomes second nature to you. We have some more time, don't we? Yeah. So for this lamppost, we will go over, the only thing I haven't taught you guys to make this lamppost is to kind of make this section right here. It's pretty simple. I can show you guys. Go back, not here. So to make that, we can start off with just a simple cube. scale out the cube if I am, and then scale it out again, but make sure you scale it out on the z-axis. Press tab. Oh, how do you group everything? I'll answer that question. So if you want to group things into one object, it's Control J. So select whatever you want to group, and then Control J. And then it'll be like one object. Over here you can see how everything, how there used to be 3 different objects: cube, isosphere, sphere. If you select everything, it'll group it all into one object. And then onto the other thing that I want to show you guys, which was Shift A, cube, scale out the cube. So that's like the only thing you can see. Make sure it's big, and then press tab, and then Control R to make 2 edge loops. And so this is where we're going to learn about this other tool called bevel, right? And what bevel does is, I'll test it out over here. Control, if you guys select only a vertex, right? Or not a vertex, but only an edge, and could press Control V, it'll kind of like flatten out that edge. And then what I kind of did over here, right, is I beveled it, but I only beveled a certain part of it. So you see how these edge loops are here. I'm not going to bevel these vertices, but I am going to bevel these ones. So if you select all those edges and then press Control D, it kind of makes this interesting pattern, you could say. And then I guess going off from there isn't much. But yeah, that's how the bevel function works. Is that it takes a vertex and then it kind of flattens it out, or kind of the face there, I guess you could say. Do you guys have any other questions? Blender is all about using your creativity and letting your brain essentially do all the work. And another cool thing that you can do with Blender is kind of like, I would say it's kind of like jazz, where you just kind of let your mind go wherever it wants to go. So you can start playing around, messing with things that you don't exactly know what you're messing with, and you'll come out with something after you mess around with it, tweak it a little bit, mess around with it, tweak it a little bit. You can come out with something that looks pretty cool. To show you guys what I just did there, I guess I can show, is that I press extrude, right, and then escape, so that it extruded, but it extruded in the same place. And then I press scale and then Shift Z. So what that does is that it essentially is telling Blender to scale out a copy of its face, so that you come out with something like this. It's kind of like the opposite of inset. And I guess you could play around from there. This kind of looks like a dog biscuit. So you start playing around with things, and you start seeing things that it could potentially become. Like, now that I've showed you guys a little bit of Blender, I can show you guys one of my other projects I recently finished up, which is this one. I can somewhat go into depth into what I did here. Maybe some things that you guys understand. These are different versions of lights. So kind of like how we had that other light in our other post. This is what's called an area light, which is essentially a face that emits light. But this is just to show you guys where Blender can somewhat go after you spend enough time with it. And then tree, I guess, with different leaves and some grass at the bottom. And to show you guys what it looks like after it's rendered, after you start using Blender to its like full capacity. Just give some time for the image to load. Our image doesn't like to load today. I'll explain this further while our image loads in the background. So this thing right here, I guess, so everything that I did here in this scene, I used some other tools, but mainly I used what I showed you guys, which is insets, extrudes, scales. That's actually it. Like creating this piece right over here, it was exactly that. I can actually create it over here to the side, I guess. So for this piece right here, I did like a cylinder thing. I started off with a box. So a quick pro tip, I guess you could say, which is something that it took me a while to learn in Blender. This cube is the most powerful tool. How long did it take? For me to create everything, oh, here's the image. For me to create this, it probably took me like a couple days or so. So yeah, this is the final rendered product with all the image. Actually, I wasn't able to settle on one version, so I made a couple different versions, playing around with the lighting and settings and stuff. But yeah, this is what it came out to. So this is what Blender can. This is what you can create with Blender after you spend enough time. Shift A, I'll show you guys. Shift A, and then Mesh, Cube. That's how you guys create cubes. So this cube is the most powerful tool in Blender. Everything that you ever want to create, a cube can do it. So like for that rocket I was showing you guys, right? For me personally, I found out that it's much easier to manipulate a cylinder if you create it from a cube. Just like that, you select all the edges and then Control B, remember, for bevel. And then that's kind of like the main body of this already. I'll show you guys just like a quick sort of tip-ish quick tutorial about how I created that one. I won't be going too in depth with this one. And then select the face, right click, and what's called hook faces, which kind of creates more vertices on that face. Extrude it out. Then edge loop, right there. Select all the faces, scale it out. And then you can kind of already see how our main body turns out to kind of look like that. Scale it on the y-axis, move it up a bit. Scale this down. Another edge loop here. And then I'll create another one over here, right next to it. Select all the faces. And then I'll select this edge loop again, move it up a bit. Don't want it to look too wonky. I'll select this face, inset, remember with I. Extrude. You kind of see how it looks exactly like our main body already. And then to get all that kind of detail there, all I did was select all those faces, inset, and then press I again so that you can select only the individual face. Change here to individual origins, and actually no, change back to median origins and then scale, like a small scale. Oh shoot, let me inset it more. Then scale it out a little bit. Yeah, that's actually about it. So that's how I created like a small piece there. And as you can kind of see that only took me like a couple minutes. And then after you do that enough times and start working with individual pieces, you can start creating things or scenes like that look like this. So what we'll be creating tomorrow is something a lot simpler. It won't be like that, but it'll just be this simple start sign so that our player will know when to start. Everything that you can create in Blender can be put into a game. It can be put into any 3D game. So like this, if I wanted to import it into like the game, even the game that we're creating, we could. And then Blender is here as well. I think it is almost time for our brain break, so I think everyone needs to, I guess, get up and do something. We've been here for an hour, so I think it's about time that we maybe take our brain break soon enough.
Yes, it is time for brain break.
Yes,
absolutely. And they got to get up and move. And so I know our students absolutely love this. Right. All righty. So I'm going to pick up where we left off. I'm not going to replay it. We're going to pick up where we left off. And because that'll give us 2 minutes. And then if you have to use the bathroom, go get some water, do what have you. Let's give Amani a virtual round of applause. So excited for his journey. One of our Nevada Help Desk students who is just on the rise of game development and just so many skills that he has demonstrated. So I'm sending virtual round of applause, banging on the desk, shouting, screaming. All righty. Time to get up. Brain break. Here we go. All righty.
Come on, move and freeze.
Time to move and freeze.
Put one hand across your shoulder, one hand across your back. Now jump in place. Do you like it like that? Yeah. Now switch hands across your shoulders and switch hands across your back. Now just be nimble, just be quick, just like Jack. Come on, jump and freeze.
Let's go.
Come on, jump and freeze. Come on, jump and freeze. Come on, jump and freeze. Everybody shake your body from your head down to your feet. And don't stop shaking until we stop the beat. Shake it to the east and shake it to the west. Shake it, shake it, shake it with my friends who are the best. Come on, shake and freeze. 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 Put your right hand on your head, your left on someone's knee. Now turn once in a circle and buzz like a bee. Now turn the other way, don't let go or lose your spot. Keep turning left, keep turning right until the music stops. Come on, turn and freeze. 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 All right, you can move now. Riddle time. Which weighs more, 1,000 pounds of feathers or 1,000 pounds of bricks? Please let us know your answer in the comment section below. You can get Move and Freeze on Brain Boogie Boosters in CD or full CD download at www.learningstationmusic.com. See the video playlists playing? You could view them just by clicking. And please become a Learning Station friend and click on the big red and green subscribe button. Follow us on Pinterest and Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Healthy music for a child's heart, body, and mind.
Move and Freeze from the award-winning CD Brain Boogie Boosters by the Learning Station. Come on, move and freeze. 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 Put your right hand on your left knee, your left hand on your right. Your knees move in and out, your hands stay tight. Now keep on with your moving, but switch hands on your knees. Keep on moving in and out till we say freeze. Come on, move and 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 freeze. Put one hand across your shoulder, one hand across your back. Now jump in place. Do you like it like that? Yeah! Now switch hands across your shoulders and switch hands across your back. Now just be nimble, just be quick, just like Jack. Come on, jump and freeze. 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 Everybody shake your body from your head down to your feet. And don't stop shaking until we stop the beat. Shake it to the east and shake it to the west. Shake it, shake it, shake it. With my friends who are the best. Come on, shake and freeze. 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 Put your right hand on your head, your left on someone's knee. Now turn once in a circle and buzz like a bee. Now turn the other way, don't let go or lose your spot. Keep turning left, keep turning right until the music stops. Come on, turn and freeze. 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 All right, you can move now. Riddle time. Which weighs more, 1,000 pounds of feathers or 1,000 pounds of bricks? Please let us know your answer in the comment section below. You can get Move and Freeze on Brain Boogie Boosters in CD or full CD download at www.learningstationmusic.com. See the video playlists playing? You could view them just by clicking. And please become a Learning Station friend and click on the big red and green subscribe button. Follow us on Pinterest and Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Here we are at one of the best roller coasters in the world.
Oh my goodness, I am so ready. Are you guys ready?
It's gonna be great.
All right. Okay, our lap bars are down. We're all buckled in. We're safe and sound. Now comes the first drop. Okay, we're going up the hill.
Scary.
Everybody, arms up, arms up. Neil, put your arms up. Come on, you can do it. Okay. All right, here comes the first drop. Everybody scream. Repeat after us.
Say, I love this roller coaster. I love this roller coaster. And you love this roller coaster. And I am ready. I am ready. Hands up. Now side to side. Go crazy. Hold tight. Hands up. Now side to side. Now crazy. Hold tight.
Oh, wow, this is kind of scary, Brian. Let's make some scary faces. Ah!
Whoa. This is the boring part. Everybody pretend you're bored. Whatever.
I'm having I'm having a good time here. Let's break a smile. Here we go.
Okay. Hey. Whoa. Neil, you caught a bug in your mouth.
Tasty.
Oh, wow.
Chocolate flavor.
Everybody, catch a bug. And now scream. Repeat after us.
Say, I love this roller coaster. I love this roller coaster. And you love this roller coaster. And you love this roller coaster. And I am ready. I am ready. Hands up. Now side to side. Go crazy. Hold tight. Hands up. Now side to side. Go crazy. Hold tight.
Oh, here comes the loop-de-loop. We're about to go upside down. Hold on to your hat.
Oh no, here comes the tunnel.
Everybody close your eyes. It's so dark. Oh, my favorite part of the ride, the photo.
All right, let's pose.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get an 8 by 10.
I think I'm gonna get a keychain.
Oh no, here comes the drop. Everybody, scream!
Repeat after us.
Now I love this roller coaster. I love this roller coaster. And you love this roller coaster. And you love this roller coaster. I am ready. I am ready. Hands up. Now side to side. Go crazy. Hold tight. Hands up. Now side to side. Go crazy. Hold tight.
Oh, we made it to the end. I can't believe it. How do we do that?
I think I'm gonna...
Body Boogie. From the award-winning CD, Get Funky and Musical Fun by The Learning Station.
Let's body boogie, you and me will shake and boogie easily. Shake your head from the top, count to 3 and then we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Now shake it to the right, shake it to the left. Turn one time, step, 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 go. Let's body boogie, you and me will shake and boogie easily. Shake your shoulders from the top, count to 3 and then we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Now shake it to the right, shake it to the left. Turn one time, step, 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 go. your hands from the top. Count to 3 and then we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Now shake it to the right, shake it to the left. Turn one time, step, 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 go. Let's body boogie, you and me will shake and boogie easily. Shake your hips from the top, count to 3 and then we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Now shake it to the right, shake it to the left. Turn one time, step, 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 go. Let's body boogie, you and me will shake and boogie easily. Shake your body from the top, count to 3 and then we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. Now shake it to the right, shake it to the left. Turn one time, step, 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 go.
We would like to introduce to you our new producer director, Bella Dawn. Click on the image.
All right, I guess we are back from our brain break. Amani, are you ready to finish up with our last half-hour segment? Oh, I see you getting ready. I see that. Oh, crank it up. I think we're ready. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you, Amani. Go right ahead.
All right, so now you guys can hear me now that my mic's unmuted. Since we do have some time, I wanted to somewhat go over what we just finished learning, especially because some people just started getting Blender, got Blender downloaded right now. So I also was able to add something new here on the side just to make it easier for you guys to somewhat see what I'm doing. I guess I can just go back on the list. I won't be making a poll again, but I'll just go over what we went over or in terms of the skills that we were using. So first one, select all. I'm pretty sure I already showed you guys this. All right, yeah, I'm going to show everyone, just re-show what we were doing. Select all. Actually, you know what? I'll go back over. I'll make like different light bulb, I guess. So to make like another one, I guess slightly different styled one, I'll go back to edit mode, insert, extrude. You can also see here on the side, it's going to copy all my, it's going to show you guys what I was doing. Extrude. I'll make it last a little bit longer so you guys can somewhat see. Extrude. All right, so as you guys saw, I inserted, then extruded. Then I'll extrude one more time, and then I'll press escape so that it stays at the same spot. Scale, and then extrude again so that we can have like that little ridge area there. Then we can, I like that other pattern that we had on the other one, so I'll just do that pattern again. Inset, and then extrude. Actually, let's do it outwards this time. So you get like a little bit of that outward experience. And then we can actually do that over and over again at the same spot so that we can get like a sort of repeating pattern. So that we can extrude in, then extrude out, inset, extrude, inset, extrude, inset, extrude. If we do that enough times, we'll actually get like this really cool looking pattern. We have that like little cool looking pattern on the side. Sort of like Art Deco, I could say. Kind of looks like Art Deco. I guess for some of you younger viewers, Art Deco was like an art style in the 1920s. Google it on your spare time, I guess. Oh, also, again, just as another side note, if you guys do have any questions, say it in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. And then to kind of finish up here, scale. Remember that also this video will be posted again online, or will be recorded, or is being recorded, I guess, so that if you guys need to rewatch anything, or re-understand what we were doing yesterday, or not yesterday, but like, well, for the last hour, you can rewatch it so that you can get the fundamental basics. Right now, I'm just going to kind of go through it again, especially since I'm now able to get this side screencast thing working. Just to show you guys, I guess, something simple again. I'm going to be going a little bit quicker, but that's just so that you guys can just see what Blender can do. Just making another lamp post. I will be also trying to explain everything as I'm going along. Like this is an inset, extrude, and then we can scale it a little bit, give it some detail, extrude, scale, G, push it all the way up, and extrude it again, scale it again. I'll move this one up a little bit. So Alt click to select all the vertices, and then G to push it up a little bit. And then actually, let's inset this top part again, then extrude it up again. And then to get some detail, what we can do is Control R to make a loop cut, push the loop cut all the way down, make another loop cut, push it all the way down as well, and then go back to face, select, Alt left click all around, extrude, then press escape so that it stays at the same spot, and scale so that we get like that little ridge. And we could do the same thing. Let's put it a little bit lower so that we have some space to put our actual light. Then we can do the same exact thing with the two loop cuts. For me to place the loop cuts like I did just here, make sure you have only one loop cut selected, left click, and then move it wherever you want it, and then left click again. If you do that, but instead of left clicking twice, you left click once and then press escape, it'll put it at the center. That's what we kind of did last time. And then, as we were doing over here, extrude, then press escape, leave it at the same spot, and then scale. And then just like that, we have like another little ridge there. Then let's make the light post actually on the same spot. So I'm going to take this face, right, move it down using G, remember, G and then Z, so that I can straighten it onto the axis. And then scale it out a little bit. And then extrude it out like this. Then make another extrude. Scale it in a bit so that it kind of looks like what we did at the bottom, or what we did at the bottom of this little part. Scale it in a little bit more. I'm going to leave it as, yeah. Actually, let's make it a little bit fancy. So we can extrude up here, and inset, extrude again, then extrude again, then press escape so that there's just another face on top of each other. And then scale. For this part, we're going to go into top-down view, so press 7 on your number pad so that you can go into top-down view so that we can match up this outer selected face to the one or the ridges like right there. So go scale, make sure you match it up perfectly. After we match it up perfectly like that, we can go back here to a regular view. Oh, if you guys haven't figured it out by, I guess it's really late now, middle mouse button is how you kind of rotate your view like that. And then shift middle mouse button is how you pan. And then so if you use the scroll wheel, you can zoom. So anyway, now that we have this face selected, extrude it like that, then inset again, then extrude all the way up like that, and then scale. And let's move it down a little bit, scale down. Actually, let's select this. So if we want to select this ridge right here like I want to do, make sure you have 2, which is your edge select, 2 on the top. So C2, and then right click here, or no, left click there, Alt left click, so you can, loop select, then press G all the way up, scale it down a little bit, give it some form. Then for this top part, I'll scale it down just a tiny bit. Remember that everything in Blender is very objective. So even though you may not be doing exactly what I'm doing, as long as it's somewhere around there, it looks the same, then it's all good. and then right click, poke faces. I'm going to move to 1, so that is vertex select. Then I'm going to select that specific vertex right there, then G, Z. So I can, it's kind of like little pointy top. We kind of see our lamppost is coming along. And we can do here, make it look more a little bit like a lamppost. Select all these faces, inset, and then extrude. Let's extrude it in a little bit. And then after you extrude it in a little bit, press X, and then faces. Actually, I extruded it out too far. So let's go back here to this step, extrude it. Let's extrude it just a tiny bit, just so that we can just so that we can see this ridge a little bit. And then press X so that it deletes all those faces. Remember X to delete face. If you can see what I was doing there. So whenever you press delete, you can delete the vertices, edges, or faces, and then it gives you all these different options as well. Here right now, I just want to delete the faces, so that's what I did. Then press 2. And then this is going to be something new I haven't showed you guys. Let's go to 1. And then select these 2 vertices, right? And then press F. So what F does is that it fills the space between those 2 vertices, creating an edge. Kind of like how 2 vertices create an edge, which all we're doing is just creating an edge there. And then we're just going to go around and do that for all these other ones. Fill. Then let's create another one. And then we're going to select 2, right? Which is the edge select mode. And then all we're going to do is select all these edges around, including the new ones that we just made. So shift click, remember, to select select multiple edges. And then just like we did with the vertices, we can press F to fill. Let me move this a little bit over here. All right. So now that this is up here like this, let's move it up a little bit. Elevate it a little bit. Get some extra detail in there. Space out. You always want to space out a little bit. Zoom back out a little bit, see what you've created. And scale it appropriately. I think that this part needs to be longer. This middle part needs to be longer, but we can do that in a little bit. So then what we did down here, we have to do up here as well, so that all the faces are connected. So we can do this, press F, this, press F. Make sure that you're also in vertex select mode too again. Select that vertex, this vertex, connect them. So as you can kind of see here, it is very somewhat geometrical. You have to have like a somewhat good understanding of how geometry works and shapes, vertices, and all that stuff in 3D design. Then exactly like how we did at the bottom, select all the different vertices, press F for fill. And then I'm going to move this one down a little bit to give it a little bit of detail. Not too much to the point that it looks a little weird, but just to give it a little curve. And then the last part that we have to fill is the poles here. So these poles don't have any inside faces, so what we're going to do is that we're going to select this edge, make sure you're in edge select mode, select this edge right here, just like that, and press F. This edge and this edge, and press F. So also, just tell me what you guys think about it. If you guys have like any suggestions on what you want to see, and also questions. I don't want anyone leaving here with questions. So if you guys have any questions, please ask me them. Then select the 2 edges on the inside. And select the two edges again on this inside. Oh no, we already did those ones. So is there, oh, one more. 1 and 2, fill. Just like that. We have like our little lamppost set up. And something else I wanted to do, as I said before, is that I wanted to make this part longer, right? So we want to move everything up here up. So for this, I would press 1, right, which gives us 1 on the number pad, which gives us like this side view, and then press Z to wireframe. So while we're in wireframe mode, we can actually select things that we can't see, maybe through like the regular facing, because so that we can see everything, or see all the vertices and edges and all that stuff. And then something new that I haven't showed you guys yet is called box select. So if you press B, make sure you guys are in edit mode again. And then if you guys press B and then drag, it's called box select tool. That will select everything inside this box. So now that we've selected everything inside this box, to make it, or to move this thing up, all you have to do is press G, then Z, move it up a bit, and voila. Let's actually make this part smaller as well. I feel like this part is too bulky. Same thing, box select, and then you have to be very mindful about what you're box selecting, right? So right now we box selected up to like this face right here, which if we go out of like our perspective view, we can see that it was just this little bit right here that we selected up to. We actually want to select a little bit less. We want to select up to here, or up to like these faces right here. So go back to our perspective view, which is not 1 on the number pad. Go Z into wireframe, and then press B for box select. Select all that stuff, all the good stuff. Scale it down just a tiny bit, then move it back up. And then press Tab to go out of edit mode. And then go back to solid so we can see how it looks like. What do you guys think? I think it looks nice. You guys don't have to follow along with this part, but I just want to show you guys a little bit about Blender and what it can do. And then we want to maybe add a light up here, so let's add something small. Let's make like a little man figurine. I think we can do that. So we'll add like, maybe not a man, but let's add like maybe a little star up here. It doesn't have to look like a star, but just like a little ornament so that it looks nice. So if you guys remember about the bevel tool that I showed you guys before, how we can select an edge and then Control B, and we can get like a slant like that. So what the bevel tool can also be used for is to do that for vertices. But if you try to select a vertex and press Control B, it doesn't do anything. So what you have to do actually, you have to press Control B and then V. Press V and that'll bevel of single vertice. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to select everything, right? Which is A, which is all, and make sure you're in vertex select mode. And then Control B. And then press V. So we're only extruding the vertices. And make sure you can get it as big as you can without the vertices overlapping. Because once they overlap, you'll get some that looks like this, and it's going to look weird and all that. Yeah, we don't want something like that. So we want to select it just like kind of like that. Then we want to select all these faces, all the regular faces that are still left. So just those faces like this, right? Then we want to inset. Make sure you press inset twice, because if you don't, you'll end up something like this. So twice. Just like that. I think that's something that looks cool, like little ornament. And then we can extrude. Oh. That's not working. median, and that's still not working. Oh, geez, what I did. We can always extrude them individually. So what we want to do here is extrude each face individually. Then after we extrude it a little bit, we can scale so that it comes out looking something like that. To make it all look the same, we can actually input values for how much we want it to extrude. So if you guys notice up here, whenever you press extrude, you see how this number keeps changing? We can actually change that number just by typing in anything. So like, let's say if we wanted it, this seems like a good enough extrusion, so that's like 0.07. So let's go like 0.08 or no, 0.8. There we go. So 0.08. And then we can do that again on this side. And Blender can sometimes get very repetitious sometimes. And so we can just do this for every single face, right? Extrude 0.0 or 0.08. Extrude 0.08. Extrude again 0.08. Extrude again 0.08. Just like as another reminder, to type up there, it's not like you have to select anything. Just make sure you're halfway through extruding, or you press E, then 0.08. Just like that, we've extruded all of our faces. And what we want to do from there is shift select or shift click, right? So we can select multiple edges. We want to select multiple things, not edges specifically, but just multiple anything. Make sure you're still in face select mode, and then select all those faces, and then scale. Oh, not like that. Go up here, change it to individual origin so we can scale each individual face, not everything together. Scale, just like that. Voila, you have like this little ornament thing. It looks kind of cool. And then what we can do from there is that we could extrude these like so. And then we can extrude these also. Select all the triangles. And what we're doing here, even though this is a very small part of our giant ramp post, this is where it comes into being having a very keen eye as an artist, as a 3D modeler as well. And just having a keen eye and able to say, this looks good, this doesn't look good, and add extra detail in there. So we can extrude it out like that, make it look all weirdish. Kind of looks like a sea bomb or something. Anyway, press 1 so that we can get into like this side select or like this side view. Scale it down to how we want it to look, and then press G and then Z to scale it up. Scale it down a little bit so that it looks proper. And then press G again. Oh, shoot. Press 3 on your number pad so you can get like from another angle, or get a view from another angle. And then press Y so that you can move it in there. And then we have like our light, kind of like how we did the other light. And then what we can do now is that since we made like this simple light post, we can then go into start coloring, all that fun. And then just to wrap this up, what we can do for coloring something simple. So kind of like how we did the other one. Since almost everything is one thing, we're going to make multiple materials in one object. So make sure that you guys press Z, material preview. And then let's go with what color? Type in chat what color you guys think this should be. So just to see if you guys, I just wanted to know what color do you guys think this part should be? I'll wait for the chat. Purple? Let's do purple then. So we can make this like a purple. And then click over here on add new material slot. And then what we can do is that we can make some lights. Let's not make this purple so aggressive. Make it like a light purple. And then we can add some lights, and kind of like how we did the other one, we can, or the other lamppost, we can go over here. Make sure you guys go to emission. That's how you know it's going to be like a light. Let's turn it up to like 2.5. What color do you guys want the lamp to be? Or the light to be? Alright, then we can make it blue. Yeah, let's go blue or red. You can actually do both. We'll make it red and blue. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm going to select these inside faces of like this little design that we did here, and then make them sign it over here. So this is, I'm going to do something that you guys won't have to replicate, so I'm just going to go through it very quickly, just so I can get the color right. The shading. Just to kind of explain what I'm doing here, you guys won't be expected to do this at all. But what I'm messing around with the materials and shaders. Blender's materials is based on like a node-based system, so you can make nodes and connect them to other nodes. No pink, no pink, no pink. Okay, I won't do pink. I won't do pink. No pink, or do you want pink? Okay. So it's based off of a node-based system, so that like you can. Let's put the dimensions up so that once it's a very complicated thing. Or the node system in Blender is very complicated, so I won't go through it. That'll take me ages to. But essentially, you can connect different nodes to make the nodes do different things. That's how I can explain it simplest. Like here, I put the two colors, right, our blue and our red, through a mix shader, and then put a Musgrave texture, kind of like how in Photoshop you can have like masks, where wherever it's like black, it'll put a color, and then whenever it's like white, it won't put anything. Here, whenever it's black, it will put. Actually, we can see what it looks like without it. Yeah, so wherever it's white, it'll put the blue, and then wherever it's black, it'll put the red. And so, yeah, that's kind of like what I did there. Just like a quick explanation of it. And then layout, let's go back to layout so that we can go back to a regular view. And then make that color over here. Kind of looks like that weird checkered pattern. And then As you can see, we can kind of switch up where the colors are. So that if we made like this top one red, then the spotted one blue, it'll be more red dominant. Let's do that. I kind of like the red dominant version. And then kind of like what we did with the other one, we can go over here to our camera, flip these two numbers, and 1080 up here for the X and Y for the way our camera looks. Go to our camera view. Make sure you guys go to Tools, View, and then lock camera to view. Position our camera so that you can see our lamppost properly. Make sure everything is centered. Press C to rendered view. Then take off our lock camera. And then we can, just like as we did with the other one, we can go to rendered, render image, and voila. Just another lamppost for you guys to maybe look back on, so you guys can see what Blender or how quickly we can, or how we can use our other skills that we've learned to create just another lamppost. And then I think the Tech Queen is here to take it over.
Oh, Amani, you did such a great job. Woo! Virtual round of applause once again. Excuse me. Wow, our time is just about up. We got 2 minutes. So just quick announcements for tomorrow. We're going to start off the same way. Our power hour from 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with yours truly. We're going to be going over our basics. Programming won't be too brain stressful. We're going to have some exercises on the computer that, like we did today, whether video or hands-on interactive for our power hour, then our brain break, then back over to Amani like today for a couple hours, and then we close out. We have 2 weeks of coding camp. Wow, that we're here together. So we're grateful that you all have paused and found it important enough out of your day to learn and to really increase your skills in so many facets of technology. So we're excited. I hope you were doing your brain breaks and having your freeze and move moments so you could get your brain flowing, your exercise, and your thinking caps on so that you could be the best in all that you do. We're going to sign off, and if you have any questions, please just put them in the chat. We'll make sure to try to respond to every question. We'll meet you right back here at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on both YouTube, Facebook, and all of our social media channels, and our website, Tech Queen Elite Training Institute. We're streaming from the embedded link on our website, Tech Queen Elite Training Institute as well. Alrighty, so thank you so much. Thank you to all of you all over the world. Thank you, Amani, all of our family from Vegas, DC, Maryland, Canada, Barbados, Africa, London, England. There's so many of you there, and our hearts are grateful that you want to hear what we have to say. So we're going to be back again right here tomorrow, 8 o'clock, signing off. Thank you, Amani. Alrighty.